now I just moved a couple out there. Now let me save you a little bit of time here. When you crouch, a lot of times in game, even though the animation didn't show it, you're going to run into areas in this section. So what I like to do is just kind of take this area here, select one of the vertices, maybe another one on the side here, and maybe grow that up a little bit to where I get this section right here near the hip. And I'm just going to kind of drag that out just a little bit. Alright, that'll save you a headache later. Now, again, I said that I plan to move this whole thing out, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Making sure I don't have anything up here selected. Maybe I need to shrink that down a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and move the whole mesh out. Whoops. Move the whole mesh out, just a tad bit. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing with the front. Just grab some of the vertices in the front, make sure I don't have anything selected up here, and just I'm just going to drag that out just a little bit. And if you want to, you can do it on the sides. You could grab some like this and kind of scale it out. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it alone on the sides. And there we go. There's my skirt. So I'll deselect that. And with the texture, it'll look pretty good and it'll move right. So now that I'm done with all that, maybe I'll throw a smooth on this. So go ahead and smooth it out. Set it to a 2. Deselect everything and file and go ahead and export this so I can test it in game. So let me just type in here final, save it, and go ahead and export it. Give it a second. And now I'm ready to test this out in game, so I'll see you here in a second in game. Alright, so here I am in game, and I have the skirt equipped, so I can test it out. I just put a, just a quick, whatever on it. And as I'm running, I can notice there's a little poking through on the back leg, so I'll probably have to go in and fiddle with the skin some more, or maybe even just move the mesh away from the body to get rid of that. So I mean, again, skinning is just a really big pain in the butt. Other than that little bit that's poking through there, as you can see, this skirt really moves well with the body. I mean, it's a very, very well moving skirt, and you can also crouch and you kind of look around to make sure nothing else is poking through. I probably want to de-equip this iron broadsword here and just kind of take a look here, and it looks really good. I don't see any part of the body poking through. Just when I move, I can see down there and the leg is poking through, so I'll have to go back in. I don't know why that happened. It shouldn't have happened. I think I screwed something up or whatever. It's probably pretty fixable. I bet it happened when I moved the mesh away from the body. If I'd have just left it alone, it probably would have been fine. Anyways, that's the basics on weight painting. You just got to keep on dealing with it until you get the weight just right. Like I said, I'll have to take mine and go back and fix it, which is like a nightmare when something like this happens. And let's see some of the basic options here with fixing it. First thing I can do is I can try to move it away from the body somewhat, which probably be the first test I make. I already have my final backed up, and then I got this in game over Daedric. So right now my character's equipped with Daedric. So let me save here, and let's go see if I can fix that. So I'll go into the Skyrim, or back in here where I have it, and hit Alt W, and maybe I can fix it by moving it away, or I can maybe fix the animation. So I'm going to try to weld my mesh first, see if that doesn't screw it up. Alright, looks fine still, so I'm going to weld it. Then I'm going to go back into my skin and I'm going to edit the skin some more. So I need to import an animation, file, import. Select my MT run forward, open it, import that, and let's see here. Where is it poking through? That's very strange. It's not poking through here in 3DS, but in game it's poking through. It doesn't really make sense. Hey, this is an anomaly. I guess I ran into an anomaly. Maybe my animation in game is different than what I'm using here. So let me file, import, and I'll try to do a static pose. And in fact, I'm just going to file. I'm trying to think here. because this is unusual. Why it's doing this, I don't know. So I'll try to import the static. Well, I already exported this, so I saved it. So I'm going to try to import the one that I exported. So I'll select New. No. I'm going to File. I'm going to select Import, and I'm going to select my final. In fact, I'll just import my Daedric torso. I should have a shortcut right here. This is what I'm testing with. I import this. Now I'm going to import an animation with this one. So File. Well, actually, I'm going to weld the skirt first, so it'll. I wonder why that happened. Let me try to export this file. Export. I'm going to export this as Daedric before I do anything. Daedric torso. Save it. Just going to export it. The joys of skinning. Alright, file, import. Now I'm going to import and animate, or rather, file, new, and I'll import that torso again. File, import the torso. I swapped it over back onto an original mesh, which is why it was moving. There we go. Editable mesh, vertices, grab them all, and let's go ahead and weld them. Alright, that's good. Alright, now let's find out what happened here. File, import the, go to the female testing, select MT run forward, open it, import it. Alright, where is this? How is this happening? I must have a weird animation in my game for some reason that's causing that to poke through like it is. Yours shouldn't be poking through, and neither should mine. I am not sure what happened there. But anyways, you guys get the basic idea. Now I'll have to figure out how to fix this. So I'm going to try to just, since I can't see it by doing this, maybe I have a special running animation. I must not be using a default running animation, so it's not weighting it correctly to the running animation that I'm using. I think I'm using one of the Victoria running animations in game, which may be causing the issue. But irregardless, it should be moving with the bones and not with that. So go ahead and import this, and I'm just going to do a quick fix. Did that skirt just move? Sure as crap did. Shouldn't have. File new, or cancel. File new. No. Why are you moving? That doesn't make sense. So I'll go ahead and just import that again. Let's see here. Go to desktop. Do shortcut. Select my torso. Open it. Import skeleton. And you get to see Nightasy fumble around here and try to figure out what I did wrong. I have no idea. Everything should be working. That's how I always do it. Maybe it's the student version. I should probably go freaking spend the time and find my other CD. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to move some of the things away from the legs to try to fix it that way. Alright, use the move. Maybe a little bit more. Select some in the front here, move it out. I move this here out some. And the idea is to try to not have to distort your mesh when you're doing this. I don't know why I'm having to, but whatever. Scroll that up some. I didn't really want to have to do this to this, but I don't really have a choice. It looks like it's going to give me a pain in the butt. So I shrink that down some, try to get a more central skirt here. Alright. Alright, let's try that one. File, export, and put this back as the Daedric torso. Whoops. I'm going to do that. Deselect that. Deselect that. Now it's File, Export, Daedric torso, and let's see if this helped. I don't think it will, but I might get lucky. There we go. Problem solved. I need to fix my texture, I know, but you get the basic idea. That's how you'd set textures up. And again, if you were to look at something in the game, you see how it kind of looks like it's bent way forward. If you actually look at the armors from the original game, see how it's out pushed out from the body, just like I just did with the skirt. That's because that's the way the vanilla armors are. That's how they made them. Okay, I didn't make major adjustments to this skirt whenever, but this is another skirt that I've skinned. As you can see, it moves perfect with the body. I spent about 3 days on this skirt. 3 days, yeah, it gives you a basic idea how long it takes to properly skin something. But it can take a very long time to get a skirt moving as accurately as this one, or the the Daedric one that I just made. So if I find that Daedric armor, I better equip a chest. I'll equip that, and then I'll equip the hide upper chest. There we go. Now I'll swap to the Daedric armor. Oh, and I gotta de-equip that skirt. There you go. As you can see, in comparison with this one versus the hide skirt long, the distance is just about the same. I probably didn't have to move it out. I think the second time I exported it, it exported with the correct skin. Like I said, I think what you saw there was a fluke. See how it's all shiny? Very soon, in some of the next tutorials, I'm going to begin showing you how to work with textures better. You see how there's this seam here? This texture was not made for this eye. This is just a testing texture I use because it's really easy to see the body through this texture. I just use this for testing things like skinning. I throw it on and test with it. But anyways, you get the basic idea. That's how you do skinning. It's a long process. But again, we're going to start talking, in some of the next videos, we're going to start talking about doing better texturing. I've already shown you how to get a proper UV map. And now I need to start showing you, I'll probably wind up moving this skirt back in because it didn't look like I needed to do that. Yeah, I think it was just a fluke. Now I have way too much distance, so I'll probably fix this skirt. Anyways, I'll show you how to do proper texturing. I'll explain the basics of some of the capabilities in Nifskope, what causes this texture shine, what the normal map does. As you can see, there's a gap right here on the arm. This needs swapped over to a normal body. That wasn't exported. Stupid Nifskope, Niftools rather. I'll show you how to fix these textures and do what's it called? We'll explain the basics of what the alpha channels do in a normal map and what the alpha channels do in a texture map. They both have different. They both do different things. I'll basically cover things like what causes this shine. Why is this all shiny right now? Well, it's shiny because specular's turned on, but there's no alpha channel regulating the shininess in the texture, or I'm sorry, in the normal map. There's nothing controlling how shiny this is, and there's nothing transparent. Transparency is controlled in the alpha map of a DDS diffuse texture. So the regular texture that you actually paint on has an alpha channel that controls transparency, and so like again, the normal map controls one, and the normal map alpha controls one thing, and then the normal map the alpha for the texture controls an entirely different aspect of the armor, and both are important. So again, we'll get into more in-depth texturing in the next tutorial. So have fun with weight painting. Good luck. Again, it is a long and grueling process, and you will have a hard time doing it. I've shown you the basics. From there, you kind of got to practice and tweak and toy around until you know how to do it 100%. You run into an error, you know how to fix it. This skirt would look way better if I didn't have that glitch. Sorry, I wish I could have had a better example for you. But again, this was done in a day. And like I said, if you want a really good weight, a really good skin painted on an armor, you're going to spend probably more than 1 day on it. This is just after day 1 of me working on the skin for this skirt. And you can see how it looks. Looks pretty good. So again, that's all I got on weight painting for now, and hopefully you guys will have some fun with that. I'll see you in the next video.